They say love makes us do crazy things. But what happens when love becomes the very reason someone vanishes without a trace? 7 days. That's all it took for a fairy tale to turn into a nightmare. 7 days between a lavish party in Dubai's most exclusive district and a young mother disappearing as if she never existed. This isn't a story about love. It's about power. About 3 women trapped in a gilded cage with a man who collected them like expensive watches. About a system designed to silence those who dare to speak. And about a disappearance that asks one terrifying question: when you have everything to lose and all the power in the world, how far would you go? If you think you know where this is going, trust me, you don't. Before we go any further, smash that like button right now. Because this story gets darker than you can imagine, and you need to be part of this conversation. Hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because stories like this need to be heard. Your engagement could literally save someone's life. And if you're already hooked, comment below, let me know you're watching, because we need to talk about what happens when fairy tales turn into nightmares. Let me introduce you to Rashid Al Nahyan. Not his real name, but close enough. 42 years old. Born into Dubai's elite, third son of a real estate magnate who built half of Jumeirah. Cambridge educated. Fluent in 5 languages. Board member of 3 major corporations. On paper, he's the perfect modern Gulf gentleman. He wears custom-tailored suits that cost more than most people's cars. His cologne, a blend of oud and amber, announces his arrival before he enters a room. He tips generously, remembers names, supports charities. The kind of man who posts about women's empowerment on LinkedIn while controlling every aspect of his wives' lives. You need to understand something about Rashid: he's a collector. Rare art pieces. Limited edition cars. Championship Falcons. And women, especially women from places where a Dubai lifestyle seems like winning the lottery. His Instagram shows polo matches and charity galas. What it doesn't show are the private WhatsApp groups, the hotel suites booked under shell companies, the pattern that's repeated itself half a dozen times. Meet a beautiful woman. Overwhelm her with attention. Make promises. Get her to Dubai. Convert her. Marry her. And then, slowly, show her who really has the power. He's done this before. He'll do it again. The first wife, Layla Al-Qasimi. Now meet the woman who's watched it all happen for 15 years. Layla Al-Qasimi. 38 years old. Daughter of Mahmoud Al-Qasimi, one of the wealthiest men in the Emirates. Her family's money predates oil. Pearl diving dynasties. Trading empires. Her grandfather advised sheiks. Her uncle is a government minister. Layla isn't just wealthy. She's connected in ways that matter. She grew up in an Abu Dhabi palace. American School of Dubai. Sorbonne degree. She speaks Arabic, English, and French flawlessly. She knows exactly which royal family members require a curtsy and which prefer a handshake. She can navigate a state dinner or a tribal majlis with equal grace. Her marriage to Rashid at 23 was arranged, not forced, but strongly encouraged. 2 powerful families merging fortunes and influence. She gave him 3 sons in 5 years. She did her duty. But here's what you need to know about Layla: she's nobody's fool. She runs a multi-million dirham charity building schools across the Middle East. She sits on hospital boards. She hosts intellectual salons where artists, academics, and power brokers gather in her majlis. She's brilliant, strategic, and patient. For 15 years, she's tolerated his affairs. The models. The flight attendants. The Instagram influencers. Why? Because divorce means scandal. It means losing her position. It means admitting failure. So she built her own empire. Her own power base. Her own reputation as a woman of substance and charity. But there are limits to what even Layla can tolerate. There's a difference between discreet affairs and public humiliation. Between temporary distractions and permanent replacements. Between being the first wife and being discarded. And when those lines are crossed, when a woman like Layla feels her position threatened. Well, Let's just say she didn't build her reputation by being weak. The second wife, Oksana Kovalenko. Oksana Kovalenko. 21 years old. From Vitebsk, Belarus. This is the woman who would vanish in 7 days. But first, let's understand who she was. She grew up in a modest apartment with her mother, a high school math teacher, and her grandmother. Her father left when she was 3. They weren't poor, but money was always calculated. Every expense weighed. Every dream tempered with practicality. Smart girl. Studying sports management at Minsk University. Decent grades, nothing spectacular. She worked part-time jobs to help with tuition, retail, tutoring, whatever paid. Summer 2022. She gets a job serving at Minsk Marriott Hotel. Good tips. Professional environment. Respectable work. The hotel hosts an international sporting clay championship. Wealthy men from the Gulf arrive with entourages. Rashid Al Nahyan is among them. Here's how it happened. Rashid orders a specific whiskey the restaurant doesn't stock at the main bar. The manager sends Oksana to retrieve it from the executive suite's private collection. She knocks. He answers. She's young, blonde, with those high Slavic cheekbones and clear blue eyes. Nervous. Professional. Polite. He tips her $500. The next day, he requests her specifically to serve his table. Then he extends his stay. 1 week becomes 2. 2 becomes 3. He's charm personified. He asks about her studies. Her dreams. He listens, really listens, in a way no man in her life ever has. Flowers arrive at her apartment. Dinners at restaurants she's only seen in magazines. Attention that makes her feel like she's the only woman in the world. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. People called her a gold digger. When her story eventually surfaced, comment sections exploded. She knew what she was doing. Girls like that are all the same. She was just after his money. But here's what you need to understand, Oksana wasn't hunting for a rich husband. She was a 21-year-old girl who'd never had anyone make her feel special. Who'd never had anyone offer her a life beyond calculating whether she could afford new winter boots. When Rashid proposed after 6 weeks, she said yes. Was she naive? Absolutely. Was she dazzled by wealth? Of course. But was she a calculated gold digger? No. She was a young woman who believed in fairy tales. That belief would cost her everything. The third wife, Natasha Baridza. Finally, Natalia. Everyone calls her Natasha. 24 years old. From Tbilisi, Georgia. Natasha was different from Oksana in every way that mattered. She was an elite rhythmic gymnast. Not just good, Olympic-level good. European Championship medals. Training under legendary coaches in Moscow and Sofia. She'd spent her childhood in gyms, bending her body into impossible positions, performing routines where a single wobble meant the difference between gold and nothing. That kind of training changes you. It teaches discipline. It teaches you to smile through pain. It teaches you that your body is a tool, something to be used, judged, and eventually discarded when you're no longer young enough or flexible enough. She retired at 22. Too many injuries. Too many younger girls rising up behind her. She did what many former elite athletes do, she leveraged her fame. Modeling. Corporate event appearances. Brand ambassadorships for sportswear companies. That's how she met Rashid in early 2023. She was hired to appear at a sports charity gala in Dubai. Stand there, look beautiful, hold a trophy, smile for photos. Rashid was on the organizing committee. Within a month, she was living in an apartment in Dubai Marina. Within 3 months, she was his third wife. Now, before you judge Natasha, understand this, she went in with eyes open. She'd grown up watching girls from her training academy marry wealthy Gulf men. She'd seen teammates transform from athletes to housewives, their Instagram feeds switching from gym sessions to Hermes bags overnight. She knew the deal. Conversion to Islam. Limited freedom. Shared husband. But also, security, luxury, and an exit from the brutal competitive sports world that had chewed her up and spit her out at 22. She thought she could handle it. She was wrong. Because knowing theoretically what it means to be a third wife is different from living in a golden cage where your passport sits in someone else's safe and your every movement is monitored by security you didn't hire and can't dismiss. Where you watch your husband post photos with another woman while you sit alone. Where you realize too late that you've traded your freedom for luxury, and there's no door marked exit. October 2022. Oksana arrives in Dubai. Rashid takes her shopping immediately. Not at normal stores, at boutiques where staff serve champagne and nothing has price tags. He buys her everything. Designer dresses. Shoes. Jewelry. A rose gold iPhone Pro. You're going to be my wife, he tells her. You need to look the part. She converts to Islam in a ceremony attended by an imam and 2 witnesses. She takes the name Aisha, though Rashid still calls her Oksana in private. Does she understand what she's committing to? Not really. The imam explains things, but it's all so fast, and the Arabic phrases blur together. Does she have doubts? Of course. But she's already here. She's already told her mother she's getting married. She's already invested. The wedding happens in November. Not small at all, Rashid flies out Oksana's entire family. Her mother, Svetlana. Her grandmother. 2 cousins. Her best friend from university. First-class tickets. 5-star hotel rooms at the Burj Al Arab. Designer outfits for everyone. It's everything Oksana dreamed of. Her mother cries, happy tears this time. Her grandmother keeps touching the silk napkins at the reception like they might disappear. You see, Mama. Oksana whispers during the celebration. I told you everything would be okay. And for those few days, with her family there, with Rashid playing the perfect groom, it feels okay. It feels like she made the right choice. Rashid even promises to support them, to send money monthly to Svetlana, to pay for her grandmother's medical care, to help her cousins with university. He's generous. He wants Oksana's family to be comfortable. After all, happy family means a happy wife. And a happy wife is easier to control. Layla doesn't attend. She's conveniently in Abu Dhabi that week visiting family. Rashid sets Oksana up in a villa in Jumeirah 1. 3 bedrooms. Pool. Garden. Gulf view. Full-time maid named Fatima. Driver named Hassan. Security guard at the gate named Ahmed. This is yours, Rashid tells her, spreading his arms. You're home. It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Here's what Oksana doesn't realize yet, it's also her prison. The first cracks, November 2022, spring 2023. The first few months are good. Rashid visits 3, sometimes 4 times a week. He takes her to restaurants, always ones he knows, always with tables reserved in corners where they won't be photographed. Beach clubs where everyone knows his name. Friday brunches at 5-star hotels. He's attentive. Generous. Loving, in his way. But then the cracks appear. First, it's the phone. He wants to know who she's messaging. Just checking in, he says. Making sure you're safe. He adds his fingerprint to her phone's security settings. Just in case of emergencies, he explains. Then it's the friends. She meets other expat women at a yoga class. Young wives, mostly from Eastern Europe, navigating the same strange new world. She likes them. She needs them. Rashid doesn't like it. Those women are bad influences. They don't understand our culture. They'll fill your head with Western ideas. The yoga class stops. She wants to finish her degree online. Belarusian universities are offering remote options. He says no. You don't need to work. Your job is to be my wife. To give me children. The education stops. She gets pregnant in spring 2023. A daughter. Rashid is pleased, he wanted a daughter. Layla only gave him sons, and sons carry different expectations, different pressures. The baby is born in December 2023. Beautiful. Healthy. Oksana names her Sophia, after her grandmother. But motherhood in a golden cage is still captivity. Natasha arrives. Spring 2024. Natasha moves into a villa in Arabian Ranches 10 minutes from Oksana's house, though neither woman knows this yet. Rashid now splits his time between 3 households. He has a system. It's written in his calendar, color-coded. Blue days. Mondays, Thursdays Layla. The family estate in Emirates Hills. His sons. Official functions. Pink days, Tuesdays, Fridays Oksana. The Jumeirah Villa. Baby Sophia. Domesticity. Green days, Wednesdays, Saturdays Natasha. Arabian Ranches. The prettiest wife. Gray days, Sundays his own time. Golf. Business meetings. Whatever else he does. The wives aren't supposed to know about each other in detail, though of course they do. Dubai's expat community is small. People talk. Whispers in ladies' rooms. Knowing glances at malls. Natasha knows about Layla, she's the official wife, the mother of his legitimate sons. That's expected in their arrangement. But Oksana? Oksana is something else. Oksana is competition. Another young foreign wife. Another woman who thought she was special. For months, they exist in parallel universes. Same city. Same husband. Never meeting. Until the Instagram incident changes everything. If you're still with me, comment "Golden Cage" below. Let's start a conversation about what we're really seeing here. And if this is making you uncomfortable, good. It should. Stay with us until the end, because this gets so much worse. June 14, 2024, 2:17 a.m. Natasha can't sleep. She scrolls Instagram, the universal insomnia cure. Stories flicker past. Friends from Georgia. Fellow retired gymnasts. Fitness influencers she follows. Then something appears that makes her blood run cold. A girl she doesn't know. Model type, maybe 23. Russian, based on the caption. In Monaco. But this isn't a story. It's a live stream. The girl has accidentally gone live on Instagram. She doesn't realize it yet, she's laughing, moving the camera around a luxury hotel suite. Monaco harbor visible through floor-to-ceiling windows. 7 seconds. That's all it lasts. But in those 7 seconds, Natasha sees everything. The girl pans the camera across the room. And there, sitting on the edge of the bed, is a man. Shirtless. Distinctive. Unmistakable. Rashid. Not just his face, though that's clear enough. But there's a scar on his left shoulder. Natasha knows that scar. She's traced it with her fingers. He told her it was from a childhood accident, a story he shares with all his wives to create false intimacy. The girl suddenly notices she's live. Her eyes go wide. She scrambles to end the stream. But it's too late. 7 seconds. That's all it took. 7 seconds for 143 people to see it before she killed the feed. 7 seconds that will be screenshot and shared in Dubai's expat WhatsApp groups within an hour. Natasha sits frozen, staring at her phone screen. Then she does something impulsive. She sends the recording, because Instagram saves live streams temporarily, to Oksana. Comment below right now, what would you have done in Natasha's position? Would you have told the other wife? This is important, your perspective matters. She doesn't know Oksana's number. But she knows people who know people. It takes 3 intermediaries, a Ukrainian hairdresser who knows a Russian nail technician who knows Oksana's maid, but she gets the number. The message is simple, I think you need to see this. Oksana's breaking point, June 2024. Oksana receives the message at 3 a.m. Sophia is finally asleep after hours of crying, teething, probably. She's exhausted. She hasn't slept more than 4 consecutive hours in 6 months. Her body still doesn't feel like her own after pregnancy. She can't remember the last time she had a real conversation with another adult that wasn't about baby schedules or grocery lists. And now this. She watches the 7-second clip. Once. Twice. 10 times. That's her husband. In Monaco. With another woman. Shirtless. That scar on his shoulder, she knows that scar. She knows every inch of him, and there's no mistaking it. She's at home with a 6-month-old baby, her breasts leaking milk through her nightshirt, dark circles under her eyes, while he's in Monaco with an escort young enough to be his daughter. This is the moment something breaks in Oksana. Not snaps, breaks. Like ice cracking across a frozen lake. Quiet at first, then spreading, until the whole surface is unstable. But Oksana is smart. Smarter than anyone gave her credit for. She doesn't just cry. She doesn't just get angry. She starts planning. She sends a message back to Natasha, "Can we meet?" If you're recognizing warning signs from your own life or someone you know, don't wait. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because information can literally save your life. Share this video. Your share might save someone. The Secret Meeting, July 2024. They meet at a Starbucks in Dubai Mall, neutral ground, public, safe. Natasha arrives wearing designer athleisure and oversized Dior sunglasses. She looks like every other wealthy Gulf wife on a casual shopping trip. Oksana arrives with Sophia in a stroller, looking exhausted. No makeup. Hair in a messy bun. A spit-up stain on her shoulder she hasn't noticed. They sit in a corner booth. Order lattes neither will drink. And they talk. Natasha tells her about the golden cage. How her passport is locked in Rashid's office safe. How the security team, Ahmed, Hassan, Mohammed, report her movements to him. How she can't leave the UAE without his written permission. How she tried once to book a flight to Tbilisi and her credit card was declined. Not insufficient funds, declined. Blocked. Oksana tells her about the loneliness. How she hasn't seen her mother in 2 years, Rashid keeps promising he'll fly her out, but something always comes up. How he stopped visiting as often after Sophia was born. How she's starting to understand that she made a terrible, irreversible mistake. "I want to leave," Oksana whispers, glancing around to make sure no one's listening. "I want to take Sophia and go home to Belarus." Natasha looks at her with something between pity and recognition. "You can't. You're married under Sharia law. He has automatic custody of children. If you try to leave the country with Sophia without his permission, it's kidnapping. He can have you arrested. Extradited. Imprisoned. Then what do I do?" Natasha pauses. She's asking herself the same question. "You survive," she finally says. "Like me. Like all of us." But Oksana doesn't want to just survive anymore. She wants out. August 2024. Layla finds out about the Monaco incident. Not from Rashid, he'd never tell her. But because Dubai's elite society operates on gossip and everyone always talks. A friend mentions it. Casually. Over Arabic coffee in a majlis. "Did you see that video? Some girl in Monaco with your husband? The live stream that went around? Someone managed to save it before she deleted it." Layla's face doesn't change. She sips her coffee. "I haven't been following social media. You know how trivial it all is." But later, alone, she investigates. She has people who can find anything, IT consultants who owe her favors, social media experts who work for her charity. She watches the saved 7-second clip. Rashid. Shirtless. In a Monaco hotel suite with a girl young enough to be his daughter. The intimacy of it. The carelessness of it. For 15 years, she's tolerated affairs. She's had to. Their marriage contract includes provisions for additional wives, she signed it knowing this. The models, the flight attendants, the brief encounters, those were transactions. Meaningless. They didn't threaten her position. But this? This is carelessness. This is public humiliation. This is everyone in their social circle knowing, whispering, pitying her. The wife who can't keep her husband satisfied. The wife who's being replaced by younger, prettier, more grateful women from poor countries who don't ask questions. That, she cannot tolerate. Layla doesn't scream. She doesn't cry. She doesn't throw things like some melodramatic soap opera wife. She's not that kind of woman. She thinks. She plans. She waits. And she remembers something her mother told her 20 years ago: men who humiliate you publicly deserve consequences. The key is making sure those consequences look like accidents. September 2024. Oksana makes a decision. She contacts a lawyer. Not a Dubai lawyer, she's not that naive. She uses encrypted messaging apps to reach a Belarusian legal aid organization that helps citizens abroad. She explains her situation. The restrictions. The monitored phone. The locked passport. The inability to leave with her daughter. The lawyer's response crushes her. Under UAE federal law and Sharia principles, the father has primary custody rights. If you remove your daughter from the country without his written permission, it constitutes international child abduction. He can have you arrested, extradited, and imprisoned. You could face years in an Emirati prison, and you would lose all parental rights permanently. Your only legal option is to file for divorce in UAE courts and negotiate custody arrangements through the judicial system. However, I must be honest, as a foreign national with no family connections, no financial resources, and no local legal standing, your chances of obtaining primary custody against a wealthy, well-connected Emirati national are virtually zero. Oksana reads this message 3 times. Then she starts crying. Not loud, dramatic crying, silent tears that stream down her face while Sophia plays on the floor, blissfully unaware that her mother is trapped. But Oksana isn't just sad. She's angry. And she's strategic. She starts documenting everything. Screenshots of messages where Rashid is controlling. Photos of the safe where he keeps her passport. Voice memos recording his threats. Bank statements showing he controls all the money. But she also does something else. Something clever. She starts selling things. Quietly. Carefully. The jewelry he bought her. She takes it to a discreet gold dealer in Dera. Not all at once, that would be noticed. One piece every few weeks. A bracelet. A necklace. Earrings she'd lost. The designer handbags. Consignment shops that cater to wealthy expats. She sells them as, barely used, need to make space. The extra clothes, the duplicate items, the things accumulating in her closet. Online marketplaces, using fake accounts. She's building a fund. Not in a bank Rashid can access, in cryptocurrency wallets, in cash hidden in Sophia's diaper boxes, in transfers to her mother in Vitebsk. She's planning. She doesn't know exactly how yet, but she's going to get out. She's going to take Sophia. And she's going to need money, enough to survive, to fight, to build a life in freedom. Not luxury. But comfort. Security. Independence. She tells Natasha what she's doing. Be careful, Natasha warns during their second secret meeting. If he finds out you're documenting things, selling things, I don't know what he'll do. Men like him, they don't accept defiance. But Oksana is past the point of careful. Comment below, what warning signs did you notice? What would you have done differently? Let's have this conversation, because awareness saves lives. The confrontation. October 15, 2024. Tuesday. Rashid's scheduled visit to Oksana's villa. He arrives at 7 p.m., as always. Dinner is ready, traditional Emirati dishes prepared by Fatima. They eat. He plays with Sophia for 15 minutes, enough to post on Instagram with the caption, "Blessed with my little princess." After Fatima leaves and Sophia is in bed, Oksana says it. I want a divorce. The air in the room changes. It's like all the oxygen has been sucked out. Rashid looks at her. Really looks at her. Like he's seeing her for the first time in months. Excuse me. I want a divorce. I want to take Sophia and go home to Belarus. I want to see my mother. I want my life back. He stands slowly. Deliberately. He's calm, but there's something dangerous in that calm. Like the moment before a lightning strike. You're tired. New mothers get emotional. Hormones. You don't mean this. I do mean it. I've spoken to a lawyer. Now his expression changes. The mask cracks. His jaw tightens. His hands curl into fists at his sides. You did what? I know my rights. I know what I'm entitled to under. He crosses the room in 2 strides. He doesn't touch her, he's too smart for that, but he's close. So close she can feel his breath. Smell his cologne mixed with something else. Anger. You don't have rights, he says quietly. Each word clipped. Precise. You have what I give you. This house. Mine. That car outside. Mine. Your daughter sleeping upstairs. Mine. You are mine. Do you understand? She's shaking but holds her ground. You can't keep me here against my will. He laughs. It's not a nice sound. Can't I? Who do you think the police will believe? A respected Emirati businessman with family connections, or a foreign woman trying to kidnap his child? Who do you think the courts will side with? Think very carefully about what you're doing, Oksana. Because if you push this, you will lose. You will lose everything. And I will make sure you never see Sophia again. He leaves. The door closes quietly behind him. Oksana stands there, shaking, realizing the full dimensions of the cage she's in. Natasha's Awakening, October 15, 2024, night. That night, Oksana calls Natasha. She's crying so hard she can barely form words. He threatened me. He said he'll take Sophia. He said no one will believe me. He said I'll lose everything. Natasha listens. Her stomach twists. Because she realizes, what's happening to Oksana could happen to her. She could be next. They're all expendable. All replaceable. All trapped in a system designed to keep them powerless while appearing luxurious. She makes a decision in that moment. I'm leaving, she tells Oksana. I don't care what it takes. I'm getting my passport back, and I'm leaving Dubai. How? I'll figure it out. And when I'm out, when I'm safe in Georgia, I'll go to the UN. I'll talk to human rights organizations. I'll tell everyone what's happening here. I promise you, Oksana. I'll help you. You're not alone in this. We'll find a way together. It's a promise she'll try desperately to keep. But she doesn't know yet that she's already too late. Day 1, October 20th, 2024, the party. Jumeirah Beach Club. Sunday evening. The sun is setting over the Gulf, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose. Rashid is hosting a party. 100 guests, maybe more. Business associates. Friends. Social connections. The elite of Dubai gather on the private beach, drinking champagne that costs more per bottle than most people earn in a week. Layla is there, playing her role perfectly. Her sons are at boarding school in Switzerland. She'd sent them away in August, saying she wanted them to have a proper European education. Really, she didn't want them here for what comes next. She circulates through the crowd. Smiling. Laughing. Making connections. She's wearing a custom-made abaya by Elie Saab, black silk embroidered with gold thread. Simple. Elegant. Expensive. She watches Rashid. He's charming tonight, telling stories, making everyone laugh. He checks his phone constantly. She notices him step away twice to take calls. She knows those calls are to his other wives. Checking on them. Making sure they're where they're supposed to be. Maintaining control. She sips her champagne and thinks about how tired she is. Tired of smiling. Tired of pretending. Tired of being humiliated. Something needs to change. Day 2, October 21st, 2024, the warning. Oksana receives a text from an unknown number at 10:47 a.m. Stop talking to lawyers. Stop making trouble. This is your only warning. Her hands shake as she shows it to Natasha via their encrypted messaging app. Natasha's response comes immediately, block the number. Don't respond. Someone is watching. But who? Rashid's security? Someone Layla hired? The lawyer Oksana contacted who might have leaked information? The cage is getting smaller. The walls are closing in. Oksana looks at Sophia, playing with blocks on the floor, oblivious to her mother's terror. She makes a decision: she needs to get evidence out of Dubai. She needs insurance. Day 3, October 22nd, 2024. Rashid visits Layla. This is unusual. Sunday is supposed to be his personal day. He's breaking his own system. They sit in their private majlis, drinking Arabic coffee from small porcelain cups. The room smells of cardamom and expensive oud burning in a silver incense holder. I'm having problems with the Belarusian, he says. Direct. No preamble. Layla raises an eyebrow. Oh. She wants a divorce. She's contacted lawyers. She's documenting things, taking screenshots, recording conversations. She's becoming difficult. Then divorce her. You have other wives. You don't need her. It's not that simple. He's frustrated now, his usual control slipping. She has evidence of things. Nothing illegal, but things that could be misinterpreted. Things that could cause problems with business partners. Some of them are conservative. They wouldn't understand. What kind of things? The Monaco trip. Some Instagram incident. The way I manage household finances. It could all be twisted to look bad. Layla sips her coffee slowly. I see. She doesn't say anything else. She doesn't need to. She's a strategic woman. She knows that sometimes problems resolve themselves when the right pressure is applied. What will you do? She asks. I'll handle it, he says. I always do. After he leaves, Layla sits in the majlis for an hour. Thinking. Planning. Then she makes a phone call. It's brief. Vague. The person on the other end understands without being told explicitly. Some conversations don't need details. Day 4, October 23rd, 2024. Natasha receives her own message. Different number. Same threat. Leave Dubai. Go back to Georgia. Forget everything you've seen. This is not a request. She doesn't show it to Oksana. She doesn't want to scare her more than she already is. Instead, she asks a friend to book her a flight. Emirates. Dubai to Tbilisi via Istanbul. Departing October 27th. 3 days from now. She packs light. 1 suitcase. She's not taking the designer clothes, the jewelry, the expensive gifts. She wants nothing from this place. Nothing that ties her to him. She just wants her freedom. She doesn't tell Rashid. She'll claim a family emergency after she's gone. She calls Oksana. I'm leaving. Come with me. I can't leave without Sophia. Then bring her. Bring everything you've been saving. We'll figure it out once we're out. There's a long pause. Oksana wants to. God, she wants to. But she's not ready yet. She hasn't gathered enough. The escape fund isn't sufficient. The documentation isn't complete. If she runs now and he catches her, and he will catch her, she'll lose everything. Sophia. The money she's saved. Any chance of ever fighting back. I need more time. Just a few more weeks. I'm almost ready. Oksana, I don't think we have more time. Something feels wrong. These messages. Once you're out, once you're safe, you help me. You go to the UN. You talk to human rights groups. You tell them everything. You create international pressure. Then, when I run, there will be eyes watching. Protection. Promise me. I promise. I swear on my life, Oksana. I will help you. It's the last conversation they'll ever have. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell right now. Because what happens next, you need to see this through to the end. Don't look away. This matters. Day 5, October 24th, 2024. Oksana drops Sophia off with Fatima for a few hours. Errands, she says. She drives to the Belarusian consulate in Dubai. It's a small office, not impressive. 2 staff members and a waiting room with plastic chairs. She asks to speak to someone about her situation. She's told they can't interfere in domestic matters, diplomatic protocol. But they can provide contact information for legal aid organizations and document her case. The consular officer, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes, listens to Oksana's story. Then she says gently, I need to be honest with you. Your chances of winning custody in UAE courts are virtually impossible. He has every advantage, money, connections, local nationality. I'm sorry. Then what do I do? You could go home. Without your daughter. Start proceedings from Belarus. It would take years, and you'd likely still lose, but at least you'd be safe. I can't leave her. But I'm prepared. I've been saving. I have resources. If I can just get her out. The officer looks alarmed. Don't tell me that. I can't know about plans to illegally remove a child from the country. What I will tell you is this, be very careful. Men with power don't like to be challenged. Oksana leaves the consulate with official documentation of her case and a folder of resources, phone numbers, organizations, emergency contacts. She feels slightly hopeful, at least someone official knows her situation. At least there's a paper trail now. She doesn't notice the black SUV with tinted windows that's been following her since she left her villa. Share this video right now. Seriously. Your share might reach someone who needs to see this. Your share might save a life. Don't underestimate the power of awareness. Day 6, October 25th, 2024. Rashid doesn't visit anyone. He's in meetings all day. Business, he tells his assistant. Layla spends the day at her charity office, planning a December gala. She's calm. Focused. She emails venues, reviews catering proposals, discusses flower arrangements. Natasha packs her final items. 1 suitcase, as planned. Tomorrow night, she'll be free. Oksana plays with Sophia in the garden. The weather is perfect, warm but not hot, the kind of Dubai evening that makes you forget how oppressive summer was. She's already packed her escape bag. Hidden in the back of Sophia's closet, behind the stuffed animals. Cash. Cryptocurrency wallet codes written in invisible ink on what looks like a children's book. Copies of documents. Emergency contacts. Everything she needs. Just a few more weeks. That's all she needs. A few more pieces of jewelry to convert. A few more $1,000 saved. Then she'll make her move. She films a video on her phone, Sophia's first independent steps. Wobbly. Adorable. Triumphant. She sends it to her mother in Vitebsk with a text, soon, Mama. I'm going to bring her home soon. I promise. I'm almost ready. It's 8:47 p.m. when she sends that message. By tomorrow morning, she'll be gone. If you're still watching, comment, I see you, Oksana, below. Let's honor her memory. Let's make sure her story isn't forgotten. This is why we share. This is why we speak up. Day 7, October 26, 2024. The maid, Fatima, arrives at 9 a.m. for her regular shift at Oksana's villa. The door is unlocked. This is unusual. Oksana always locks it. Madam Oksana? Fatima calls out. No answer. The house is quiet. Too quiet. Fatima walks through the entrance hall. The breakfast dishes are still on the table from last night. Coffee in the cup, half drunk, now cold. Oksana's phone is on the kitchen counter, screen dark. Then Fatima hears it, crying. Baby Sophia, from upstairs. She rushes up. Sophia is in her crib, red-faced, screaming. She's soaking wet, her diaper hasn't been changed since last night. She's hungry. She's been awake and crying for who knows how long. Fatima picks her up, comforts her, changes her, prepares a bottle. Her hands are shaking. She searches the house. Oksana's purse is on the couch. Her car keys are in the bowl by the door. Her Mercedes is in the garage. But Oksana? Oksana is nowhere. Fatima calls Rashid at 9:47 a.m. Sir, I am very sorry to disturb you, but Madam Oksana is not here. The baby was alone. She has been crying. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He arrives in 15. Security comes with him, Ahmed and 2 others. Then, within the hour, the police. They searched the house systematically. No signs of struggle. No broken windows or forced entry. No blood. Nothing disturbed except those breakfast dishes and that crying baby. Oksana Kovalenko has simply vanished. As if she never existed at all. The first 48 hours, October 26 to 27, 2024. The first 48 hours are critical in any missing person case. The Dubai police, professional, thorough, discreet, begin their investigation immediately. They interview the neighbors. No one heard anything unusual. No screaming. No cars at odd hours. They pull security footage from the gated community entrance. Here's what they find. October 25, 11:47 p.m., a black SUV with heavily tinted windows enters the community. The license plate is visible but partially obscured by a reflection. The guard waves it through, it's on the approved visitor list, entered earlier that day. October 26, 12:23 a.m., the same black SUV exits. 36 minutes inside the community. The police trace the license plate. It's registered to a shell company. The company's address is a P.O. box. The director listed is a Pakistani national who, when questioned, claims he registers vehicles for a fee and has no idea who actually uses them. The trail goes cold. October 27, 2024. The police interview Rashid at his office. He arrives with 2 lawyers. He's devastated, he says. Shocked. Terrified for Oksana's safety. She's the mother of his daughter. He loves her. Who could have done this? The detective, a sharp woman named Captain Almazrui, asks direct questions. When did you last see your wife? Tuesday evening. October 22nd. I visited for dinner. Everything was normal. You didn't see her after Tuesday? No. I had business commitments. Where were you on the night of October 25th, between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m.? At home. My family estate in Emirates Hills. With my first wife, Layla. Can anyone verify this? My wife. Our household staff. My security team. I can provide you with a list. Captain Almazrui makes notes. Your wife had recently contacted lawyers about a divorce. Were you aware of this? Rashid's lawyers tense, but he remains calm. Yes. We'd had disagreements. She was adjusting to life here and finding it difficult. I thought we would work through it. She told friends she felt trapped. That you controlled her movements, her finances, her passport. That's absurd. I provided her with everything. Security for her protection, a driver for her convenience. She had access to money. As for her passport, I kept it in my safe for security. There's a high rate of document theft in Dubai. She could have had it any time she asked. Did she ask? A pause. Not that I recall. Captain Almazrui doesn't believe him. She's a 20-year veteran of Dubai police. She's seen this pattern before: wealthy men, foreign wives, disappearances that conveniently solve domestic problems. But belief and proof are different things. Rashid's alibi checks out. Layla confirms he was home all night. Household staff confirm it. Security logs show his car never left the estate. Phone records show no outgoing calls to suspicious numbers. If he did this, he didn't do it himself. October 28, 2024. Captain Almaz-Ruyai interviews Layla at the family estate. It's a palace, really, marble floors, crystal chandeliers, walls hung with original artwork worth millions. Layla serves Arabic coffee and dates. She's gracious. Composed. Elegant in a cream-colored abaya. "This is terrible," she says. "That poor girl. And the baby, how is the baby? With your husband? You're aware he had a second wife?" "Of course. Our marriage contract allows for additional wives. I've accepted this for many years. How did you feel about Oksana specifically?" Layla pauses, choosing her words carefully. "I barely knew her. We met twice, perhaps 3 times at family gatherings. She seemed young. Naive. I felt sorry for her, actually. This life, being married to a man like my husband, it's not easy. Especially for foreign women who don't understand our culture. There was an incident in June. An Instagram live video showing your husband with another woman in Monaco. Were you aware of this?" Layla's expression doesn't change. "I don't follow social media. It's beneath my attention. But you heard about it?" "Dubai is a small community, Captain. People talk." "Yes, I heard rumors." "How did that make you feel?" Now Layla smiles. It's a cold smile. "Captain, I've been married to Rashid for 15 years. Do you think one Instagram post by some escort matters to me? I have 3 sons. I have status. I have my own career, my own money. Whatever my husband does in his personal time is his business." "Where were you on the night of October 25th? "Here. At home. With my husband. We had dinner together, the staff can confirm. We watched television. I made several phone calls to friends between 9 and 10:30 p.m. Then I went to bed around 11. You didn't leave the house?" "No. My security team monitors all exits. They can provide you with logs." Captain Almaz-Ruyai checks. Everything Layla says is true. Phone records. Security logs. Staff statements. Her alibi is airtight. But the captain knows something the evidence doesn't show: women like Layla don't commit crimes themselves. They have resources. They have connections. They know people who know people. And a woman scorned, humiliated, threatened, that woman is dangerous. October 28, 2024. They find Natasha at Dubai International Airport. She's in the Emirates business class lounge, 2 hours before her flight to Tbilisi. Captain Almaz-Ruyai and a male officer approach her. "Ms. Barids? We need to speak with you about Oksana Kovalenko." Natasha's face goes white. "Is she? Did you find her?" "No. That's why we need your help." They take her to a private interview room. Natasha is terrified, shaking, crying, barely coherent. She tells them everything. The controlling behavior. The golden cage. The locked passports. The monitored movements. The threatening messages both she and Oksana received. The Instagram incident. The secret meetings at Starbucks. She wanted to leave, Natasha says. She wanted to take Sofia and go home to Belarus. But he said he'd take the baby away. He said she'd never see her daughter again. She was trapped. We were both trapped. "Where were you on the night of October 25th? "At my villa in Arabian Ranches alone. Packing." She shows them her luggage. "I was leaving. I couldn't stay anymore. After what happened to Oksana, I knew I had to get out." "After what happened?" "She wasn't missing yet when you booked this flight. I mean, after the threats. After seeing how scared she was. I knew something bad was going to happen. I should have done more. I should have." She breaks down completely. The police check her story. Security footage confirms she didn't leave her building on October 25. Her building's cameras show no visitors. Her alibi is solid. But Captain Almaz-Ruyai sees something in Natasha's eyes: guilt. The guilt of someone who escaped while another woman didn't. "Can I still take my flight?" Natasha asks. Captain Almaz-Ruyai considers. Natasha isn't a suspect. She's a witness. But if she leaves Dubai, she leaves their jurisdiction. "We may need you to testify if this becomes a criminal case." "I will. I'll come back. I'll testify. I'll do whatever it takes. Just please find her." They let her go. She boards her flight 90 minutes later. As the plane takes off, Natasha looks down at Dubai's glittering skyline and thinks, "I'm sorry, Oksana. I'm so sorry." October 27th to 30th, 2024. For 4 days, Dubai police search for Oksana Kovalenko. They check hospitals, morgues, hotels. They issue alerts to all airports and border crossings, though they know if someone wanted to smuggle her out, they wouldn't use official channels. They search the villa thoroughly. They find her documentation, the screenshots, the recordings, the evidence she'd been collecting. Captain Almaz-Ruyai bags it all. They interview Fatima, the maid. Hassan, the driver. Ahmed, the security guard. Everyone tells the same story: Madame Oksana was a quiet woman. Kind. Lonely. She loved her baby. She seemed sad lately. They searched a construction site where that black SUV's GPS, tracked through cell tower pings, showed it stopped for 17 minutes on the night of October 25. It's a half-built villa in Nad al-Sheba. Abandoned for now, the developer ran out of funding. Concrete bones of a house that will never be a home. They search every room. They bring in cadaver dogs. Nothing. If Oksana was there, if something happened there, whoever cleaned up did a professional job. November 2024. Captain Almaz-Ruyai compiles her report. She presents 3 theories to her superiors. Theory 1, Rashid arranged it. Motive, Oksana was threatening him. She had evidence of control and financial manipulation. She was talking to lawyers, to the consulate. If she'd gone public or fled the country with the baby, it could have caused significant legal and reputational problems. Opportunity, he has unlimited resources. He could have hired someone, professionals who leave no evidence. That black SUV could have been sent by him. Evidence, circumstantial. His alibi is solid, but that means nothing. Men with money don't get their hands dirty. Theory 2, Layla arranged it. Motive, jealousy. Humiliation. The Instagram incident embarrassed her publicly. Oksana represented everything Layla hated: a younger woman taking her husband's attention, giving him a daughter when Layla had only sons, threatening the carefully constructed social order Layla had maintained for 15 years. Opportunity, she has her own money, her own connections, possibly even more useful than Rashid's. Her family has ties to people in government, in security services, in places where favors can be called in quietly. Evidence, circumstantial. Her alibi is perfect. But like Rashid, she wouldn't do this herself. She'd delegate. And women like Layla know how to make problems disappear without leaving fingerprints. Theory 3, unknown third party. Motive, unknown. Perhaps someone with a grudge against Rashid. Perhaps a kidnapping gone wrong. Perhaps something else entirely. Opportunity, the threatening messages came from unknown numbers. That black SUV was registered to a shell company no one can trace. Evidence, none. Captain Almaz-Ruyai's superiors read the report. They tell her to keep investigating but to be discreet. These are powerful families. Influential families. The kind of families that make phone calls to people who make decisions. The investigation continues. Officially. But everyone knows it's over. November-December 2024. Within a month, the case goes cold. There are no witnesses. No body. No forensic evidence. That black SUV is never found, probably crushed in a scrapyard in Sharjah or shipped to Somalia in pieces. Rashid hires the most expensive law firm in Dubai. They ensure that the investigation is properly conducted, which means quietly, discreetly, with appropriate sensitivity to families involved. The media barely covers it. A few articles in local papers. Belarusian national missing in Dubai. Police seeking information on disappeared mother. Foreign resident vanishes, investigation ongoing. Nothing in international press. Dubai's government is very good at managing narratives. This is a city that runs on luxury and safety. Stories of missing foreign wives don't fit the brand. Oksana's mother, Svetlana, calls from Vitebsk every day. She begs for information. She contacts Belarusian authorities, who contact Emirati authorities, who say they're pursuing all leads. She asks to see her granddaughter. Rashid's lawyers say it's under consideration. It never happens. Baby Sophia goes to live in Rashid's main estate with Layla. Under Sharia law, he has automatic custody. Oksana's mother has no rights, she's neither Muslim nor a resident of the UAE. She'll never see Sophia again. By December, the case is officially classified as ongoing but inactive. Police Code 4, we know what probably happened, but we can't prove it, and no one with power wants us to try. December 2024 to January 2025. Natasha lands in Tbilisi on October 27, 2024. She goes straight to her parents' apartment in the old city. She locks herself in her childhood bedroom and doesn't come out for 5 days. When she finally emerges, hollow-eyed and haunted, she makes a decision. She contacts the Human Rights Watch office in Tbilisi. Then Amnesty International. Then UN Women. Then every international organization she can find. She tells them everything. The golden cages. The controlled passports. The monitored movements. The systematic isolation of foreign wives in Gulf countries. The impossibility of leaving. The custody laws that trap mothers. And she tells them about Oksana. In December 2024, she files a formal complaint with the UN Human Rights Council. She submits Oksana's documentation, the screenshots, the recordings, everything Oksana had sent her before she disappeared. The complaint alleges violations of freedom of movement, enforced disappearance, custodial abuse of power, systematic discrimination against foreign nationals, failure to protect vulnerable persons. In January 2025, she gives her first interview to BBC World Service. I'm terrified, she tells the reporter, her voice shaking. I'm scared they'll come after me. That I'll disappear too. But I have to speak. Because Oksana can't anymore. Because there are other women still trapped in those golden cages. Because someone needs to say that this is wrong. The interview goes viral. Millions of views. Hashtag Justice for Oksana trends on Twitter for 3 days. The UN acknowledges her complaint. They open an investigation. They contact UAE authorities requesting cooperation. The UAE responds politely, they are conducting their own thorough investigation. They will share findings when appropriate. They respect human rights. Dubai is a safe city for all residents. Nothing changes. Rashid is never charged. Layla is never questioned again. The case remains officially unsolved. Where are they now? Present day. Rashid Al Nahyan. Still living in Dubai. Still married to Layla, their public appearances have actually increased. Strategic photo ops showing a united, stable family. He has custody of Sophia, who's now almost 2 years old. She's being raised by Layla and a team of nannies. He posts occasional photos on Instagram, blessed, fatherhood, my princess. The comments are always turned off. He hasn't remarried. Not yet. But sources say he's been seen with a new woman, 23, from Kazakhstan, studying business at American University of Dubai. The pattern continues. Layla Al-Qasimi. Still the perfect wife. Still running her charity, in fact, she just won an award for her educational initiatives across the Middle East. The award ceremony was covered by Gulf News and Emirates Woman magazine. She's raising Sophia alongside her own sons, who've returned from boarding school. In interviews, she speaks movingly about giving that poor child a stable, loving home after such a tragedy. She never mentions Oksana by name. Her social calendar is full. Her reputation intact. Her position secure. Did she do it? We'll never know for certain. But if you ask people who know her, really know her, they'll tell you, Layla Al-Qasimi doesn't lose. She never has. She never will. And women who threaten what she's built have a way of disappearing. Natasha Baridza. Living in Tbilisi with her parents. She works remotely for a sports marketing company, flexible hours, low stress. She's in therapy 4 times a week. She still has nightmares. She's become an advocate for women trapped in similar situations. She speaks at conferences. She works with international organizations. She's helped 3 other women escape from Gulf countries, connecting them with lawyers, safe houses, escape routes. She thinks about Oksana every single day. I got out, she says in her advocacy speeches. But Oksana never will. And that's something I carry with me. The guilt. The what if I'd done more? But I channel that guilt into action. Into making sure the next woman doesn't disappear. Into making sure the next little girl or a boy doesn't grow up never knowing what happened to their mother. She's been contacted by Dubai police exactly once since she left, a perfunctory follow-up call. Nothing came of it. She's been contacted by unknown numbers 17 times, hang-ups, breathing, threats whispered in Arabic and Russian. She's still terrified. But she keeps speaking. Sofia Kovalenko Alnayan. Almost 2 years old now. Growing up in a mansion in Emirates Hills. Designer clothes. Organic food. Private pediatricians. Every material advantage. She'll never remember her mother. She'll see photos, carefully selected ones that Rashid and Layla approve. She'll be told a sanitized story. Your mother had to go away. She loved you very much. But she couldn't stay. She'll grow up speaking Arabic and English. She'll go to the best schools. She'll probably study abroad. She'll have every opportunity. Except the opportunity to know the truth. When she's older, maybe 15, maybe 20, she'll search online. She'll find the articles. The BBC interview with Natasha. The hashtags. The theories. And she'll have to decide what she believes. About her father. About Layla. About the woman who gave birth to her and then vanished as if she never existed. Oksana's mother, Svetlana Kovalenko. Still in Vitebsk. Still fighting. She's filed lawsuits in Belarusian courts, international courts, anywhere that will listen. The money Rashid was sending. It stopped immediately after Oksana disappeared. The generous support for the family. Gone. As if it never existed. She's trying to get custody of Sophia. Or at least visitation rights. Or at least confirmation of what happened to her daughter. Her chances are 0. She keeps Oksana's room exactly as it was. The university textbooks on the desk. The clothes in the closet. Photos on the walls, Oksana at her high school graduation, Oksana at a friend's wedding, Oksana's last selfie before leaving for Dubai, smiling, hopeful, believing in fairy tales. Svetlana is 63 now. She looks 80. Grief ages you. She's waiting for justice that will never come. Every day, she lights a candle in front of Oksana's photo. She prays to God. Please. Just tell me what happened. Just let me bury my daughter. Just let me hold my granddaughter once. Just once. The prayers go unanswered. Before we continue, if this story has affected you, if you know someone in a similar situation, comment below with resources or support. Let's build a community that protects each other. That's what this channel is about. So what really happened to Oksana Kovalenko on the night of October 25, 2024? Did Layla arrange it? Did she finally snap after 15 years of humiliation? Did she make one phone call, cryptic, deniable, to someone who owed her family a favor. Someone who could make a problem disappear. Layla had motive. The Instagram incident had humiliated her publicly. Oksana represented everything threatening: youth, fertility, the possibility of genuine affection from Rashid. The legal documentation Oksana was building could have exposed ugly truths about their lives. Layla had means. Her family's connections run deep. Her wealth is independent of Rashid's. She's brilliant, strategic, patient. If she ordered this, she'd ensure no evidence led back to her. And she had opportunity. That mysterious black SUV. Those untraceable threatening messages. The perfect alibi that means nothing because women like Layla don't commit crimes themselves, they delegate. But would she really risk everything? Her reputation? Her son's futures? Her carefully constructed life? Or was it Rashid? He had even more to lose. Oksana was documenting his control tactics. She'd contacted lawyers. She'd been to the consulate. If she'd gone public or somehow managed to flee with Sophia, the scandal could have affected his business relationships, his social standing, his freedom to continue collecting women. Men like Rashid are used to control. To getting their way. To owning things, including people. When a possession rebels, when it threatens to expose you, what do? He had the resources. The connections. The security teams. That black SUV could easily have been his. But would he kill the mother of his child? Would he risk the investigation, the questions, the possibility, however remote, of consequences? Or was it someone else entirely? Someone we don't know about? Someone with their own grudge, their own agenda? The truth is, we'll probably never know. What we do know is this. A 21-year-old woman is gone. Vanished. Probably dead, though no body has been found. A woman whose only crime was believing in fairy tales. Who thought wealth meant security and love meant safety. A baby girl will grow up never knowing her mother. Never hearing her voice. Never feeling her arms. An elderly woman in Belarus will die without knowing what happened to her daughter. Without justice. Without closure. Without even a grave to visit. And the people responsible, whoever they are, will face no consequences. They'll continue living their lives. Wealthy. Powerful. Untouchable. That should make you angry. The real tragedy, power and silence. But here's what this story is really about. It's not just about one woman's disappearance. It's about a system. A system that allows wealthy men to collect women like trophies and discard them when convenient. A system where foreign wives have no legal standing, no protection, no recourse. A system where custody automatically goes to the father, regardless of circumstances, leaving mothers powerless. A system where passports are locked in safes and movements are monitored and leaving means losing your children forever. A system where even when someone disappears, even when everyone knows something is wrong, money and power and connections mean justice is impossible. This is the real cost of the golden cage. It's not about luxury and restriction. It's about what happens when human beings become possessions. When they're collected, controlled, and eliminated when they become inconvenient. Oksana thought she was marrying into a fairy tale. She thought a powerful man equals a good man. She thought wealth equals happiness. She thought love conquers all. The reality is much darker. The reality is that women like Oksana are bought, caged, and when they try to escape, when they dare to assert their humanity, their right to freedom, their right to their own children, they disappear. And the world moves on. The rich stay rich. The powerful stay powerful. Justice remains a privilege of those who can afford it. If you've stayed with me this far, you deserve to understand what this story teaches us. Lesson 1: Fairy tales are dangerous. When a powerful man offers you the world, ask yourself, what's the price? Because nothing is free. Every gift has strings. Every promise has conditions invisible until you try to leave. Oksana saw luxury and missed the cage. She saw romance and missed the control. By the time she understood what she traded her freedom for, escape was impossible. Lesson 2, Love without power balance is ownership. Real love requires mutual respect. Equal power. The ability to say no. The ability to leave without losing everything. What Rashid offered wasn't love, it was ownership. Oksana was an object in his collection, as replaceable as a watch. When she tried to reclaim her autonomy, when she asserted her humanity, she was eliminated. Lesson 3, Wealth doesn't equal freedom. Sometimes wealth is the opposite of freedom. Oksana and Natasha both learned this too late. They traded independence for security and found themselves in golden cages. Passports locked away. Movements monitored. Choices controlled. Designer clothes and luxury villas can't compensate for the loss of self. Can't compensate for being unable to see your mother. Can't compensate for knowing you're trapped. Lesson 4, Systems protect power, not people. This is the hardest lesson. Even when everyone suspects what happened. Even when evidence points in obvious directions. Even when a young mother vanishes and a baby is motherless, if the powerful are protected by systems designed to shield them, justice becomes impossible. Rashid will never face charges. Layla will never face real questions. The investigation will remain forever ongoing while everyone knows it's dead. Because that's how power works. It protects itself. It creates laws and structures and social systems that ensure accountability only flows downward, never up. Lesson 5, Speaking up is dangerous, but silence is deadly. Oksana tried to fight back. She documented. She contacted lawyers. She told people. And she vanished. Natasha stayed silent, complied, survived. She escaped, but carries the guilt of being the one who got out. Now she speaks from safety. Maybe her testimony will help the next woman. Maybe her voice will save someone. There's no easy answer here. No clear path. Just impossible choices and terrible risks. Lesson 6, International custody laws need reform. The reality is stark, in many Gulf countries, fathers have automatic custody rights under Sharia law. Foreign mothers have virtually no legal standing. If you marry a wealthy, well-connected man in these jurisdictions and have children, you've essentially given him complete control. This needs to change. International pressure needs to be applied. Treaties need to be negotiated. Systems need to be reformed so that human rights transcend nationality and gender. But until that happens, women need to know what they're walking into. If you're watching this and you see yourself in this story, if you're in a relationship where you've lost your passport, your freedom, your choices, please know. You're not alone. There are organizations that help. Human Rights Watch. Amnesty International. The Tahira Justice Center. Organizations that understand golden cages and have resources for escape. Don't wait until crisis to document everything. Start now. Screenshots of controlling messages. Photos of restrictions. Voice recordings if it's safe. Build your evidence quietly, carefully. Store it outside the country, cloud services he doesn't know about, sent to trusted friends abroad. Tell people outside his reach what's happening. People in your home country. Friends he's never met. Organizations that can't be influenced by his money. Build a network of people who know your situation, who will notice if you disappear. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it is wrong. You're not being dramatic. You're not overreacting. Your fear is legitimate. Your situation is real. Oksana ignored warning signs. She stayed too long. She believed she could negotiate with someone who saw her as property. Don't make the same mistake. But also understand the risks. Leaving isn't simple when children are involved. The custody laws are real. The threats are real. The danger is real. Get professional help. Contact lawyers who specialize in international custody. Contact your consulate or embassy. Make a plan with people who understand the system. And know this, escaping might mean leaving without your children temporarily. It might mean years of legal battles. It might mean heartbreak and separation. But it also means being alive. Being free. Being able to fight another day. You have to be alive to fight for your children. Dead or disappeared mothers can't help anyone. And if you're watching this and you see yourself in Rashid, if you're a man who uses power to control, who sees women as possessions, who believes wealth entitles you to ownership, you're not as untouchable as you think. The world is changing. Women are speaking. Organizations are listening. International pressure is building. Social media makes secrets harder to keep. Today, you might get away with it. Today, your money and power might shield you. But tomorrow? Tomorrow the woman you're controlling might be the next Natasha, the one who escapes and tells everything. Tomorrow your name might trend on Twitter. Tomorrow you might face questions you can't buy your way out of. And even if legal justice never comes, even if you never face consequences in a courtroom, you'll live with what you did. You'll know what you are. Every time you look at the daughter being raised by nannies, you'll know her mother vanished. Every time someone mentions Oksana's name, you'll know what role you played. That's a different kind of prison. A cage you built yourself. And unlike the golden cages you create for others, you can never escape it. Your choices have consequences. Maybe not legal ones. Maybe not immediate ones. But consequences nonetheless. If this story affected you, if you're angry, heartbroken, or frustrated, here's what you can do. Share this story. Not for views or algorithm. Share it because awareness matters. Because the more people know about golden cages, the harder they are to hide. Support organizations helping women escape abuse. Tahira Justice Center. Human Rights Watch, Women's Rights Division. UN Women. Equality Now. Organizations in your country that assist foreign nationals in crisis. Demand accountability. Contact your representatives about international custody reform. About protections for foreign nationals. About holding wealthy, powerful individuals accountable regardless of jurisdiction. Listen to women when they tell you something is wrong. Don't dismiss them. Don't tell them their life looks perfect from outside so they must be exaggerating. Believe them. Don't romanticize wealth and power. Teach your daughters and sons that money doesn't equal worth. That powerful men aren't automatically good men. That fairy tales are stories, and real life requires caution and self-respect. Remember Oksana Kovalenko. Say her name. Don't let her become another statistic, another foreign woman who vanished in a wealthy city and was forgotten. She was 21 years old. She loved her daughter. She wanted to go home. She deserved to live. She deserved justice. Even if she'll never get it. Subscribe to this channel. Not because I want numbers, but because these stories need platforms. Because silence protects the guilty. Because exposure is the only weapon we have against systems that shield wealth and power. Like this video if it made you think. Comment with your thoughts, I genuinely want to hear them. What warning signs did you notice? What would you have done differently? How can we protect the next Oksana? Share it with someone who needs to understand that golden cages are real. Because maybe, just maybe, if we make enough noise, the next woman won't vanish for trying to be free. The truth we'll never know. 5 years from now, on a quiet evening in Dubai, Layla Al-Qasimi will sit in her garden overlooking the Gulf. She'll sip mint tea from a delicate porcelain cup. She'll review documents for her next charity initiative, a women's shelter, ironically. Her sons are doing well, one at Cambridge, one at Harvard, one preparing for his own arranged marriage. She'll watch little Sophia playing with her nanny in the distance. 5 years old now. Beautiful girl. Those high Slavic cheekbones. Those clear blue eyes. Looks exactly like her mother. And Layla will think, perhaps, about a night 5 years ago. About a phone call she may or may not have made. About a conversation conducted in careful euphemisms. About a problem that solved itself very conveniently. And she'll smile. Just a small smile. Just for a moment. Because Layla Al-Qasimi doesn't lose. She never has. She never will. This story was based on real events, with names, locations, and circumstances changed. Women in golden cages are real. Their stories are real. Their disappearances are real. If you or someone you know is in a similar situation, please reach out. National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. Tahira Justice Center, tahira.org. Human Rights Watch, hrw.org. Equality Now, equalitynow.org. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to live.